Right here is symbolic of what it's all about. This is the world's heavyweight title. And when I say this, I mean it in all sincerity. The world's heavyweight title, held by Harley Race. Not once, but twice. Over half of my life devoted to what I do better than any other human being in wrestling. I am not going to allow any human being to insult me or this. And when I say that, I mean it in dead sincerity. When I walk in that ring, I'm walking in there as world's heavyweight champion. I'm walking in there to defend what I hold probably more close than any other man has ever held. This is my life. You've heard your Ric Flairs talk about being cock of the walk. You've heard your Thunderbolt Pattersons. You've heard them all, Ole Anderson. They all talk about being the man. Flair parades around saying that he is the ultimate man. Well, buddy, this is symbolic of being everything that any human being ever wanted to be. That man is Harley Race. And for one of those individuals that I've mentioned, or the various others, to beat me, then let them walk around and claim to be what they are. You're looking at the world's heavyweight champion, the man that can truthfully say that he can beat any man in the world.
Attack skills and vocabulary too. Comprehension of this edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary and like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Here we go again. I'm doing it totally different today. I'm actually live. Keisha couldn't make it tonight. Had a prior engagement, so I'm coming at it alone. Ringtime Pro Wrestling. Couldn't leave y'all missing in the streets without a new show. So here we are, dropping a new show this week, live and direct for everybody. Coming live from somewhere, but it's actually live. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. But I figured this big thing out, so I'm gonna do a live show tonight, so we all can enjoy this wrestling. I had to just stop it because I was hearing myself in my ear and it was freaking me out. Not really used to hearing myself in my own ear. But let's talk wrestling. Well, you know what? Before we get into all of that, just to let you know who we are, what we are, it's Ringtime Pro Wrestling. We come a variety of ways. We are usually found on Spreaker, of course, the network that you could be listening to this live on. We are on iTunes. We are available on SoundCloud. We are available on YouTube. We're available using the TuneIn Radio app. Just search Ringtime Pro Wrestling. Stitcher Radio, which is very popular. Anywhere you can procure a podcast, we are there. We have ringtimeprowrestling.com, which is our website, which has everything new and exciting that we're updating every chance we get. We're on Facebook, we're on Tumblr, we're on StumbleUpon. We're on pretty much every social media platform, Twitter, at Ringtime Podcast. So get at us. We love to talk, we love to engage, and we love to interact. So now that I got that piece of business out the way, BattleGround. So beautiful thing about doing my podcast later in the week, everybody else that got what they had to say about the event or whatever. Generally, I don't listen till after I do my podcast because I try to keep my thoughts about as pure as I can and try to be as unbiased as I possibly can about the situation and about the events. So I'm going to get it all out there. So we'll break it down match by match. Was it a bad pay-per-view? Was it the greatest pay-per-view I've ever saw? I know it's a go-between kind of thing, and the main thing is to get to SummerSlam. This pay-per-view wasn't going to change the world. The idea was that it had to get us to SummerSlam. And it set up SummerSlam. Maybe not the way a lot of fans thought it would set up SummerSlam. Also, excuse me if I yawn, cough, or sneeze. I haven't been live in a very long time, so I don't have my muscles up for it yet. Generally, I edit these shows, and I edit them to death. So when you get the edited copy, which there will be an edited version that comes later behind this, you miss a lot of that stuff, right? But not today. Today you get all the mistakes, you get all the hums and highs and whoos and highs, right? I just said highs and whoos and highs. Like there wasn't enough highs in the statement. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. But we're at BattleGround. Wade Barrett took on R-Truth. This time his kingship was on the line. Wade is in a very peculiar position because he might be the most disrespected king of the ring I've seen in a long time. Generally, king of the ring puts you on a trajectory that you're some kind of title contender or your name is in a discussion. I mean, eventually Edge became a world champion. Kurt Angle, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold. The idea is generally to get you to a title, right? Well, here's the thing. I don't think that's in Wade's cards. As much as it should be, and as much as he checks off all the boxes and everything you love professional wrestler, whatever reason, it's just not in his cards. But he's been struggling, especially with R-Truth, through this early part of his king reign. And I was kind of worried about him. But in the opening match prior to the show, Barrett pulls through, beats R-Truth, does not have to suffer the embarrassment of having his crown and, cape snatched. Oh, that'd have been rough. Because, don't they got to take place on Palace grounds or something? I digress. Anyway, it was an okay match. I thought both performers did what they needed to do. Barrett always intrigues me because of positioning. I don't know what he's going to do next or where he's going to be placed next. But we'll work it out. We'll see what happens. Next up, Randy Orton takes on Sheamus in the first match of the show. At first, I thought that was kind of weird. Generally, I think I'd have got conditioned to the TNA style pay-per-view. Where we open the show up with little guys. They'll play around and see what happens. Not so much going on with this. We got, hey, man, you serious about it? Let's take it on. Things didn't happen the way everybody wanted them to. Sheamus is the Money in the Bank winner. Now I'm used to Money in the Bank winners losing, unlike King of the Ring. I'm used to Money in the Bank winners taking a shot or getting hit or something like that. Because just average, whatever. But good match. Very, very violent. It was one of those that turned me around because in the beginning I'm like, this is going to be terrible. But the match turned me around and I said, okay, I got what was going on here. That's, what happens. Kind of weird. Nobody knows what happened. And that's good. Next match. Primetime Players took on a New Day. With all three members of the New Day. Quick observation. I thought Xavier Woods does a really good job outside the ring. Management is all in his future. He does a really good job of taking that attention. Now, not so much this season, but, just the ability to get things moving in the right direction is always nice. The New Day are characters. Boy, are they larger than life characters. Ready to crack a joke. Ready. I mean, it's always something. But they were definitely something to watch. And primetime players retained. So millions of dollars go to primetime players. Next thing you know, and we go ahead and Roman Reigns took on Bray Wyatt, which another very physical match, very entertaining, kind of old school, and they wrestle old school way. I mean, it was in an old school building, and you know, it went for it. So you know, that happened. Charlotte was in a triple threat match with Brie Bella and Sasha Banks. As you know, the Divas are divided up, about 9 of them divided up in 3 separate camps. Each camp sent a representative to wrestle in a triple threat last night. Nikki Bella was going to get in, but thought discretion was the better part of valor. So Brie got in there. Hey, man. I think these women are going to change wrestling. Period, point blank. I think they're definitely going to change that Southeastern Conference and how it's viewed. You know, people have different perceptions of how things work, but we'll have to see where it all works out and how it goes. But I definitely like the in-ring work. You knew when watching Brie that Nikki would have been outclassed by, you know, Sasha and Becky. So it's going to be real interesting how that's going to keep going and how that's going to keep evolving. But the ladies are doing a fantastic job. One thing I would like, get rid of the Divas title. Make it the women's title. I think that's something that is fair and independent and logical. And not that old raggedy, you know, let's do it on the spare back or something like that. No. Those things should be read and fed, and you know what I mean? So, you know, things should, you know, happen that way. But, other than that, after that, John Cena took on Kevin Owens in a long-awaited rematch of their feud. It's kind of weird, too, because I kind of picked Owens to go over, and it didn't happen. I really thought they was going to let Owens walk away with the United States title, even though he still has NXT dates to fulfill. I thought he'd be taking it, you know, the United States title to NXT, saying, look what I did. So, you know, very interesting case study here. But, I mean, to see how it all broke down is pretty much, hey, man, your work sell you out for candy. So, kind of crazy, but not so much. But, I don't know. I always surely say not really knowing what was next. Seth Rollins took on Brock Lesnar in a much, much, much anticipated rematch from SummerSlam. No, it wasn't a rematch from SummerSlam. Sorry, this is SummerSlam. This would have been partial rematch from the Site Controller. So, it, you know what?